Up next is Terry Allen with Hill Harper, The Conversation, the new book.
Hi, it's Terry Allen again on the red carpet with the Esther Davis Show. We want to welcome you to the show, and we got one of my heroes. I'm glad he lives in my lifetime still. As you know, he's the author of Letter to a Young Brother for the young guys, and Letter to a Young Sister for the young women, and I sent him a couple emails, got on his case, we need to go do something for the grown folks. And all of a sudden, Mr. Hill Harper's come out with a conversation. And I've never been more excited about this book and more excited about it being coming from such a great presence in America. I want to ask you something, Mr. Harper. Hill, tell me, what was a personal challenge you had during this book? Because I know it had to come from something personal.
Yeah, well, you know, I've just been struck anecdotally with how many single black men and black women are out there, and the disillusion of the black family. In 1966, 84% of black children were being raised in two-parent households. Fast forward to 2006, that number has dropped to 31%. So 84% to 31%. And at the same time, 70% of black professional women are single. So we had to start asking ourselves the question, what's going on between black men and black women? Even when we decide to have a child together, we don't stay together. And even the single sisters who are out there doing well for themselves are not finding a mate. So there's something going on, and I wanted to investigate as a single man. Number one, am I part of the problem? And number two, what's going on? And that's what this book is.
Well, it's off to a very good start. Number 2 on the New York Times best-selling list, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So it seems like people are really appealing to the book and the message that you're trying to send. What would be maybe the 2 top or 3 top things that a part of the message that you're trying to get out?
Well, the real message, the fundamental message here is that change is going to have to begin with the conversation. And the conversation happens on 3 levels. One, first, a real honest conversation with self, looking in the mirror and really being willing to be honest with yourself and ask tough questions. Who am I? What do I want? And are the choices I'm making in my life in line with what I claim my goals to be? And number 2, conversation with partners or potential partners. Again, very honest. And number 3, conversation with community and family. And those are the 3 levels of conversation would work on. I'm very proud that it's hit number 2 on the New York Times bestsellers list. I was told, I don't know if it's true, that there's only been 3 African American books to break the top 5 in the nonfiction category, and this is the third African American book that has done that, and so I'm very proud of that. If that's true, I didn't do any research to check it out, but if it is true, I'm very proud of that.
Well, the success has gone through the roof here, and you created a culture of conversation for us for the whole weekend, so we're very happy about that. My mother's just taken the book, and she's already highlighted chapters for my 9 sisters already. And one question on the book, if you were to talk to our viewers, which would be the most productive chapter in your book? What would they look at?
Wow, I think the most productive chapter actually is the Man Up chapter. And the Man Up chapter happens towards the end of the book, and it's where we as men, particularly since we men are sitting here, where we have to start holding each other accountable. It became very clear to me when I did research for the book that women cannot check men, but we can. But most of us choose not to. Most of us know when brothers are not acting properly, whether in terms of parenting, in terms of other women. And we usually turn a blind eye because we say, that's just his business. That's just his business. I'm going to stay out of it. It's his business. But I think that we're at a point, at a crisis right now in terms of the black family, that we can't, as men who are conscious, we cannot keep just saying that's his business. We're going to have to actually step up, man up, and have a tough conversation with our brothers and saying, you know what, I can't actually stand by silent and watch you act this way anymore. I'm going to have to man up as a man and have that conversation with you.
Well, you also wrote the books, Letters to Young Brothers and Letters to the Sisters. Yeah. And this morning you were at a juvenile detention center speaking to youth, and
right.
You were also at Booker T. Washington Performing Arts High School. How did the message that you send to the young people tie in with the message that you're sending to the adults?
Well, it's all linked, because we're talking about 2/3 of the young people that reading Letters to Young Brother, Letters to Young Sister are growing up in single-parent-headed households. Mm-hmm. So part of the purpose of writing the book is to give a platonic, positive male role model influence through book form. Now, obviously, that's not as good as a flesh and blood parent in the home, but at least it's something, And the young brothers and sisters that I spoke to at the Dallas County Juvenile Detention Center this morning, You know, they certainly don't want to be there, but they've made choices and mistakes that led them to be there. So the question is, did we fail them or have they failed us? And I would like to suggest that there's some fault that lies on both sides. But if you really polled those groups, easily 90% of them are growing up in single parent-headed households.
Well, I know that what I've done with Letters to a Young Brother, the mentoring that you allowed us to do with your book and on your website, was powerful. So I already know that this is already going to be powerful. And I'm grateful to have you here on the show because you're about to go in and speak to a large group of African-American men and women, and I hope that we get it.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know if there's anything to get, to be honest. It's just really the conversation. So we're going to go out there, we're going to start the conversation. Some folks are going to completely disagree with what I have to say. Some folks are going to agree. Some folks may get mad. They may try to throw a shoe at me. I don't know what they're going to do. But at the same time, hopefully it's going to stimulate conversation. Hopefully there's a critical mass of men and women out there that want to actually start to begin to grapple with some of these really tough issues, because no matter what race you are, male and female relationships are difficult. But then you add on some of the socioeconomic factors and sociological factors in our community, and they become doubly difficult. And so it's about a conversation to try to solve some of the problems.
Well, we thank you for this conversation here, and we thank you for the conversation in your book. We thank you for coming on the show and joining us here in Dallas and helping us move forward in the way that we do it. We're going to have you all over.
Thank you so much.
Last time you were on the show, I gave you an apron and a hat. I know you're traveling light, so we gave you a golden pen for such a great book that you wrote.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Thank you so much. The conversation begins, y'all.
Oh, great. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to Dr. Frederick Douglass Haynes III, posing with the 2009 spokesmodel for the Esther Davis Show. We still live in the greatest country in the world. We're celebrating Veterans Day all month. So to all of our servicemen, all men and women all over the world, we salute you and dedicate this show to you. You are the greatest audience in the world. We'll see you next week.